Hello and welcome to the NHL Best Bets. Yesterday we had a lot of good games, almost all the teams were playing, and here you can see our picks. We had a Dallas selected to win in Nashville. Game was exactly as tight as we predicted, but then overtime coin flip went to Nashville. Erik Haula scored a winner for home team and Nashville won 1-0. And then other game, Ottawa in Montreal. Again, pretty much like predicted, a low-scoring matchup between these two teams. Montreal was better at the end. They came back from behind after being 2-0 defeat. They started to play and won the game at the end in overtime 3-2. But at the end we got some small profit out of these picks. Tommy, how you saw these games?
Small profit is better than no profit at all. So the games were pretty much exactly as we predicted. So Nashville, Dallas, this fight for the playoff spot, very evenly matched game. Juuse Saros 28 saves and a shutout. A very good game from the Finnish guy again, and also Erik Haula, the guy who then took the points for Nashville. But 2-1 points in this close race. So now it's Nashville that has the edge in these games. Dallas still has to win a couple of games, but it will be interesting until the end between these two teams, which team will take the playoff spot. We do think that it is Predators at the moment, but everything can happen as we have seen. So these sort of games already playoff battles between the teams. Very tight game. This time it went wrong way for us, but maybe next time we'll take the profit. And with these odds, no brainer to take Dallas here. In Montreal, Canadiens went down against Ottawa, managed to come back and take the win that they needed in order to almost secure their playoff place. So very low scoring game. Ottawa especially shot only 23 times on goal, so very under-like from the start as we expected. Montreal a little shaky in the beginning, but like I said, they managed then to put a bigger gear on and then find their way to win. But very low scoring game as expected, not a lot of scoring chances, so very good under with a nice profit. Like we were saying that these sort of games which are heading to be an under and you get odds like this, it's 100 times out of 100 you play this one again.
Yeah, this was pretty much like predicted. How about overall, how our simulations predict the outcome of the games last night?
Overall, we made a little bit of a minus 233, but there were a couple of nice side valuable picks here. For example, Philadelphia, New Jersey, we got New Jersey for plus 135 profit. Also Pittsburgh winning in Washington, another game that we speculated yesterday, plus 110 for the Penguins there. And of course then Detroit beating Tampa Bay with Curtis McElhinney in the goal, plus 284 from the Detroit win. So a nice profit there. But overall, like I said, a little bit minus. But in the money line, then it was plus 447. So the big favorites managed to win as we predicted, but the odds were so lousy that the simulations didn't like the side value there. So in a way, we were correct, but the odds were even better. So this time, no profit from side value.
Yeah, these big favorites like Vegas, Colorado, Florida, Toronto, Carolina, they took care of the business. Boston as well in early game against Buffalo. So I think strong teams are getting stronger, and there are not too many upsets. But of course, there's one Detroit here and there.
Yeah, always good odds for the underdog when it goes to these ridiculous numbers like plus 300 or something. But for example, now if you would have bet Boston to win, which was quite a clear one, you only make a profit. If you put 100, you make a profit of 29. So that doesn't really warm the bet at night. So let's try to look for a little bit more value if we just can.
Yeah. If we go quickly through the only single game tonight, and there's not too much value there either to be found. But when you have only one game, you cannot select too much. Tampa is favorite, very clear favorite here, and after yesterday's loss, they are bound to bounce back. Odds are what they are, plus 303, but like I said, only one game, so you need to bet that one if you are in the business.
And yeah, that's actually minus 303, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry. And then Detroit is starting to defend. Tampa is maybe more balanced and usually good also in offense, but they have been struggling a bit for scoring recently, and as long as there is Mr. Vasilevsky in the goal, there is always chance to go under. So simulations like under here, minus 116, and like I said, the Tampa Bay odds is minus 303.
Yeah, this is the only game now. So these are the picks that the simulations have made. 77% of the games for Tampa Bay, while the odds are minus 303, which is 75%. So small value for Tampa Bay, but you have to make do what you have. So I do think that last night when Tampa lost to Detroit, they will bounce back, and they are preparing for their playoffs. They are only doing what they have to do to get the win. They're not gonna score 7 goals and push all the way if they don't have to. So I do think that it's going to be a couple of goals for Tampa Bay, maybe Vasilevsky another shutout to secure his Vezina trophy, which is very likely. So I think it's a low scoring game, but that Tampa Bay will do exactly the amount of work that they have to win this game. 55% of the simulations going under 5.5 goals, so good value there. Detroit only scoring 1.9 goals, Tampa Bay scoring 3.6. So it is quite a clear difference, but not a lot of goals either for Tampa Bay, because they are likely that they do not really need to score a lot of goals to win this game. But I do still think that they will be a bit better than last night, which was definitely an off night, especially offensively for this team.
Detroit has been one of our banks in total bets during this season. So if you have been betting Detroit games and total, whichever way the simulations have predicted, you've had a 69% hit rate there. So 33 games correct and only 15 wrong. Reasoning around $1,650 profit per every game played by $100. So that's a very good track record for the Detroit. Is there any other teams that have been so good in total markets this time?
Yeah, there are a couple teams, and this is always interesting because in totals it is extremely difficult to make a proper profit, because if you're 50-50, you're likely to make deficit there. So because the odds are usually not in the positive. So we have New York Islanders 30 correct, 17 wrong, which makes 64% correct and plus 1,130. So that's another team that we have made more than 1,000 profit in all these games. And then the top team the second team in the Western Division, Colorado Avalanche, another one over 60% hit rate, 24 correct, 14 incorrect. So a lot less games as well, because we don't make the bet on every total if the simulations indicate the exact number that the total line is. So 63% correct in Colorado games and plus 860 from there. So very good numbers, considering that it is difficult to pick these 50-50 games going the right way, and also getting some value from those picks.
Yeah, like we discussed in the past, this season the Scotia North Division has been very good for us. We have been able to predict those games better than others, and that is also visible in the side values per different teams. So Calgary, Ottawa, and Montreal are the top 3 teams where we have made profit. I think it has been pretty much so that we bet against Calgary at home, for them on the road, and then against Montreal everywhere. So that has been quite a profitable way of betting this time.
Yeah, when these teams play a lot against each other, we have found the right combination to pick the right team at right time. So this is all about the odds. So we got Calgary Flames 33 picks correct, only 17 wrong, which is 66% hit rate in Calgary games, which is a brilliant number, and plus 1,500 profit shows that. So these sort of numbers are all over the Northern Division. A little bit less profit from Ottawa and from Montreal, but still Ottawa games 67% hit rate. So we have been very much better than the odds makers in predicting what's going to happen in the North. And then if you take a look at the worst division, we have the West. So we are making not very good picks when it is San Jose or Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas we have been talking about a lot in these videos because it is something that the simulations don't really rate due to the fact that they are not creating enough chances according to the simulations, so they are not scoring goals, which is how these systems mostly work. In Vegas games, we have only gotten 38% correct side value in their game, so it's minus 1,180. So to contrast these heavy profits from the North, we have the West that is not that well. But still, for example, San Jose, we have 43% hit rate, so it's by no means a bad result. But the deficit from these games are over thousands per team, so not very good.
Yeah, I think San Jose season has been a bit up and down. Sometimes they win and play properly, sometimes they lose 7 games in a row when they should have been winning and fighting for the playoff spot, but at least simulations haven't been able to follow this right during this season.
Yeah, what I've been following myself, it seems that every time that we are thinking that they're doing better, they will collapse. And then when we think that they're going to be very bad, they have found their level. So difficult team to predict, and this is what happens when this thing goes on.
Yep. Is there any other trends that you've seen during the season so far, and while we are heading to playoffs, some teams that we should be concentrating more on betting?
Of course, this money line is always interesting because this shows that we are doing pretty well in ranking the teams that are going to win. So let's take a quick look in money line results. We have New York Islanders games, 71% winners correct. So that's a great number. If we could do that for every team, we'd be making profit all over the board. But these money line picks, of course, are always a little bit questionable because they're not taking that much consideration in the difference between the odds and our simulations. But for example, in Islanders case, we are making profit of plus 1,475 in the money line picks as well. So these are great numbers. Florida Panthers, another team with more than plus 1,000. And remarkably, the worst teams in the moneyline category, we have still been able to pick more than 50% correct, and making a minus 444 is the biggest loss that we made with the Los Angeles Kings games. So this just tells that we've been pretty good in the ranking of the teams, a little bit better than the odds makers have been.
Yeah, moneyline is maybe profitable when you have these 50-50 games and you have a bit edge with another team that is not edged by the bookmakers. But these are very good results, especially in Eastern Conference, where we have the Islanders, Washington and Buffalo among top 4 profit makers in moneyline.
Yeah, this is interesting. Buffalo is there because we have been playing against them all the time with not so good odds, but it seems that the odds add up. We have 75% hit rate correct in Buffalo's game, so that tells the story that even sometimes playing against a very bad team is worth it when the odds are correct. So plus 860 from those games, so not bad at all.
Let's see how good the odds that are not very good tonight in Tampa's favor will be at the end. But when you have only one game, you watch it in very detailed and come back tomorrow with new picks.
Yeah, tomorrow a bit more games.
See you then.
See you.